Welcome. I'm going to take you guys on a little Zentangle journey today. And before we get started, I want you to try and create a mindful space. So, what I mean by that is try to create a space where you feel comfortable. It might be best to be somewhere that you could be alone. You could sit outside or work in your bedroom, somewhere that's quiet. You could put on calming music, just a space that allows you to be present with yourself and allows you to focus on just what you're doing right now, which will be making these Zentangles. So we just want to, again, focus not on everything else going on in the world, not on anything that could be stressful to our families right now or to ourselves, but just be present with ourselves and in making some art today. So you also don't need a lot of materials for this. You could just use a pencil or you could just use paper and marker. And it also can be a relatively small composition. Square is pretty small in comparison to most of the artwork that we make in class. And the first thing you want to do is just put a dot in each corner. Okay. And then we're just going to take a loose line. It doesn't need to be straight. It doesn't need to be perfect. We're just going to connect all of the dots together. Can be wavy, graceful, soothing lines. Okay. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do is create our tangles. So we're gonna split up this little organic shape in the middle into a couple smaller organic shapes. And we're gonna do that by using any type of line. So we don't wanna have it be too confusing, so we're not gonna use more than 4 lines. So I'm gonna maybe do a loopy line, connect like this line to this line, then maybe I would do a wiggly line and connect the top to the bottom. I could do, let's see, maybe a bumpy line and connect the left to the right. And I feel like that's enough. So I only did 3 lines and I divided up the composition into these smaller shapes. So inside of these smaller shapes is where you're going to make your Zentangle patterns. And there are a ton of resources out there for different Zentangle patterns. You could go onto Pinterest. You can use the Zentangle patterns that I'm going to attach. You could Google Zentangle patterns. And if you wanted them to show you step by step how to do it, you might want to actually Google how to create a simple Zentangle pattern. I found some ones that I like, and I'm gonna show you how to start to put some of them into your design. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with this one, and it's meant to be relaxing. So I'm gonna use marker. I happen to have a black marker, so that's the marker that I'm going to use. And again, we're only doing it inside one of the shapes. So I'm going to start with these organic shapes. And I'm just staying inside of this tangle. Okay. And for this Zentangle, it actually has the negative space colored in. I'm going to outline this. Really take your time, let your mind travel to other places and relax. So this one's a relatively simple Zentangle pattern. Okay. All right, let me choose another one. Let's see. This one's kind of cool too. I'm gonna do this one next. All right, so I'm gonna start again with just the basic line. So this is kind of like a rainbow line. And I might actually even change the design a little bit so that it can kind of arc into this other space. And again, it's not meant to be perfect. It's about the process, not the product. Okay, so I'm gonna color this in. And maybe add another line here, make it a little thicker. So I'm trying to create some variety of lines and pick and choose things that I want to color in and things that I just want to leave as lines. All right, then, so this actually is a shape by itself. And because it's so small, I actually might switch to a thinner Sharpie. But I'm gonna do another one of these like cell looking ones. I think they look cool. So first they have like these ovals that are floating around. And then it has lines in the background. That go behind the cells. And this I might thicken up. Okay, maybe I'll do, I don't know if you can see it, this one has a bunch of spiral lines.
It's that time of year when spring's in full swing and explosions of life make allergies really zing. Each sniffle and swipe can be a moment of dread as ordinary tissues make noses angry and red. So keep puffs by your side to soften all your blows. With Air Puff Magic, they'll cushion your nose. Especially during allergy season, a nose in need deserves puffs indeed.
So as you can tell, I'm using the Pandora station. That was a little advertisement for you. Just something calming in the background. And maybe I'll add one more here. And then I'm going to switch back to the thin marker. And it has these little lines on the inside. So just take your time, move slow, let your mind start to wander. It should feel repetitive, and that's part of the trick to feeling relaxed. The repetitive quality of drawing marks is what's going to help calm. So don't think I need to do the whole thing with you. So I feel like I'm gonna keep going on my own, and I will post a picture when I'm finished. But just a couple things to remember is, again, to take your time. You can make up your own designs. It might be helpful to start by looking at some of the Zentangle patterns that are already out there. And not every tangle has to be super busy or detailed, but I would try and create a balance between ones that are more simple and maybe ones that take more time and are more detailed. So again, in each shape, there's going to be a different Zentangle. So maybe I might split this up one more time so that I have an opportunity to make more Zentangles. But I hope you find this calming and relaxing, and I look forward to seeing some of the work that you guys produce. Have a good day.